Going into week 3, the Chiefs are 0-2 for the first time since 2015. Also heard of a stat saying that like Pat Mahomes ain't been 0-2 since like high school or something like that. So how do you guys feel about the start for the Chiefs? Is this a sign of a downfall for them, or could it just be like early
I wouldn't
season
say it's a
woes?
downfall. To me, it's almost like I mean, it's kind of hard to compare dynasties, but it's almost like when the Pats after they won their first three, like there was like a big gap between like whenever they started winning again, like in the late 2010s. Like you know what I'm saying, I don't know if I remember. Like I think it was because they won I think 2000, and then I think they won 04. I could be wrong. You know what I'm saying? But it was like a long 10 year period where they was either losing Super Bowls or they was like win, or they was just not going at all. So I feel like it's that. Honestly, this is probably one of the worst teams Pat's had offensively, like around him. You know what I'm saying? The defense can only do so much. Like past couple years, it's really been defense kind of leading it, and Mahomes has just been good at. Yeah, Mahomes been
Yeah,
good at
Chris
just
Jones
kind of
in them.
managing and picking his spots where he got to be like basically magic. So I feel like there's only so much you could do. I mean, it's like the ultimate team game. You know what I'm saying? So even though you can be as great as you are, like when your receiver is, I really don't know who their receiver is right now, honestly. Like I'm not even like, cause I know Rasheed out. I know
They're both
Hollywood. I
out.
think he injured. No, not Hollywood. Worthy's injured with his shoulder.
Worthy.
Travis Kelsey, he really didn't
Worthy.
look that good last year, anyways. But like that's really what it is. Like yeah, them guys once they start
One
getting
foot
old,
out
I
the
feel
door.
like it'd be like in
Like
spurts.
he, oh,
Like Winkowski, he didn't look great on like the playoffs. Remember, I give you 4 great games in these playoffs. You know what I'm saying? And I feel that's where we are with Travis Kelsey. He can't give you a full 17, but
Yeah.
come playoff time, he can get you in like clutch spots.
I think the big thing for me is I've been a big proponent of like the league watching film and you know players lock in with other players on the team, players lock in with their DC position coaches. The Super Bowl was a big
Yeah,
indication on like this is how you beat the Chiefs. Put pressure on Pat. Just drop everybody in there. Send 8, send 7 if you need to. Do exotic blitzes. Just because even though Pat is magic in the years prior, it was kind of hard to blitz him and not pay for it. They don't have the same line protection as they did back in those days. They got a
yeah,
rookie starting at tackle, I think, now this year. Last year, they was already kind of looking sweet on the line. So the Eagles had a monstrous, I mean, like evil villain, dastardly kind of like defensive line and a front seven that could really harass Pat Mahomes. I think the league took notice, and you saw that when they played the Chargers, that the Chargers was doing a lot of zone blitzing. They was doing a lot of like banjo, but we gonna send somebody off that banjo too. Like we're not gonna give you the alleys that you would have prior years to go make a lot of plays, and you kind of see the Chiefs on the offensive end kind of like suffer from that. In my opinion, what's killing the Chiefs is the defensive players getting old. I think Chris
yeah.
Jones is pushing 36. He's 33, 34. Chris Jones is in double-digit seasons now. He's a Hall of Fame defensive tackle, but when you're a Hall of Fame defensive tackle, I believe in week one, supposed to have eye socket contain playing loose five technique, and he's swimming inside to give Justin Herbert free rushing lane to go get the first down and win the game on a crucial third down. That's an indication for me that like there's certain things that's being missed. Like fundamentals gonna be fundamentals regardless what we're doing. So when you got your Hall of Fame guy rushing inside and he playing five technique, that lets me know that there's certain things that the Chiefs are getting a little too complacent on the defensive end too. I don't think it's nothing that shocks me in terms because this happens to most dynasties anyway. I still think Andy Reid's a great coach. Still think Spag is a good coach. I think maybe losing Bellamy as they OC may be hindering them a little bit, but we all know Andy the
You
one
think
calling the play, so it
you
shouldn't be as big as
do you think it's
a
like dead?
deal.
Like, do you
But
think the dynasty is
when
done
you,
for? Cause
yeah,
I ain't gonna lie. This Sunday, this they get right game. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, it's the game where they put it
no,
together and they figure, and they figure it out. But like, just in the
yeah, they
grand
punching
scheme of
y'all in the
things,
face.
I'm not betting against Mahomes. But do you feel like this stage of the dynasty is where they might go to a couple AFC championships, maybe divisional rounds, but do you think that Super Bowl run of where they by far we kind of know
I
they're gonna
wouldn't
be in the
say
AFC
that.
championship every year? Cause last year,
That's a
whenever the
great
team wasn't
question.
that great, like we kind of was like, yeah, the Ravens look good, the Bills look good, but we we know the Chiefs gonna be in the AFC championship. It's gonna be whoever they play
Mm,
out of those teams. You know what I'm saying? But like I feel like now we at the point in time where maybe
correct.
it's just like you give a team enough chances, I really can't see the Ravens losing to them again. I can't see the Bills losing to them again. The Bengals, I mean, depending on how,
Mm.
yeah, Chargers, depending on
I don't
how
even see
like
the charge. I think the
how
Chargers
long, you know what I'm
do them
saying?
dirty
I
this
mean,
year
Joe
too.
out for
Get
like
them
three
out of there.
months. Depending if they can stay afloat, you know what I'm saying? Come back and Joe come back playoffs because Joe can get hot. You know what I'm saying? Depending on like that, like do we feel like the Bengals is just no chance? You know what I'm saying? Like, do you feel like the Chiefs is out of there, it's done, there's no chance, it's like this is the end of the dynasty, they going 10-7 and
That's a that's a really good question. I don't know. Like the AFC West is a dogfight this year. Like everybody looking at least competent. I don't really know what the Raiders got going on, but outside of the Raiders, everybody looks competent. So that's a really good question. I think I just got to give him more time. I've seen rumors that they want to bring Reek back. They want to bring Tyreek back and freak the offense back again. But I genuinely don't know. I think as long as Pat Mahomes is quarterback, it's hard to say that the dynasty's over. To be honest, because Pat does his wizard work with the football. That's like I've never seen ball players do stuff like this. That's really changing and redefining what quarterbacks should be able to do. But I don't know. That's a really good question. I think it really all depends on
yeah.
like when we get deeper into the season, when we're pushing November football, December football. I think the first 2 weeks isn't the best indication. Like I just don't want to write them off yet. But the Chiefs being 0-2, if you would have told me that in May, July, I would have been like, no freaking way. So I don't know. That's a really good question. I think it's going more or less boil down to how did this
Yeah.
team
I will
respond to
say
being
though,
0-2? Because I don't
like
think them boys
I would say if
have
they start
ever
0-3, then
really
I
been
feel
losing.
like that
So
is like
it should be
emergency
interesting to
sales
see how
signs.
they
Like we
respond
got
to
to
that.
figure it out. Especially like you lose to the Giants. I don't think the Giants are necessarily like a bad team, but that's not a team you should lose to if you got championship aspirations.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? I don't think they're a good team, but I don't think they're a bad team. I don't think they a bottom
You
five
don't think
team
the
in the
Giants is
league.
a
You know what I'm
bad
saying?
team?
But that's not a team you should lose to if you got championship aspirations. That's my opinion. I
Okay.
mean, I could be slightly biased.
Okay. Correct. And
That
every year
leads
they have championship
right into
aspirations.
the next topic too. I was gonna say that leads right into the next topic too. What is the potential of that matchup? What's the potential of like the Giants maybe sneaking that game away
Not
from them,
necessarily. I feel
or
like
could
if
they
for that
expose that
matchup
defense like
wise,
the
I don't think
Chiefs
that'll be a
are
matchup where
lacking
the
that asset
Giants
right now?
will outshoot the Chiefs. If that's somehow the Giants pull that game off, that's gonna be like a 17-10 type win, where the Giants defense steps up and stalls out the Chiefs offense, which is the least likely option. But with Spags gonna send exotic blitzes, bro. And Russ just isn't good at in this stage in his career. He's not good whenever he feel the pressure. So if that's the type of win that if an upset is gonna happen, like I said, it'll be like something where the Giants defense goes crazy. Abdul Carter gets 3 sacks. Brian Burns gets a forced fumble sack, and I mean like the likelihood of that happening. Yeah, the Chiefs' offensive line isn't the greatest at this stage because you know what I'm saying they just mixing and matching and stuff like that. But I mean if O line is giving up like that many sacks at that point, you know what I'm saying it's bigger issues than just starting 0-3. At this point, y'all season might be y'all looking at a top 10 draft pick. If that's the case, y'all losing to the Giants like that. But um, do I think the upset's gonna happen? Probably not. Like I'm be honest, I really, really can't see the Chiefs starting 0-3. Both teams are really playing for like their lives essentially. Brian Daboll is playing for his coaching career, and then Chiefs are literally playing for their season. Which I mean, for them, I mean that's almost kind of the same magnitude when you got championship aspirations. Like it's literally like championship or bust for you know what I'm saying the Chiefs. So you go start 0-3, the season basically over with. Who cares about the playoffs at that point? We 0-3.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be a good game regardless. I don't think what we seen
Yeah.
from the Giants on Sunday was gonna be a normal. I don't think the offense is that high power. I think Neighbors is legit. I think Wandell is legit. I think Russ is, like I said, at the end of his career. So I don't think that's something we'll see. I just think the secondary for the Cowboys wasn't really the greatest, and then the pass rush is, you know what I'm saying, wasn't the greatest either. So like, that's why we seen that. But with Spags, you're going to get a whole bunch of exotic blitzes. You're going to get zone blitzes, cornerback blitzes. You know what I'm saying? So you don't really know where anything's coming from. So it's going to be interesting to see how the line comes together and things of that nature.
Funny enough,
It was
I
good to see.
I think I could see the Giants sneaking away with that one. It's hard to see the Chiefs like going 0-3, but I don't know. Without those two starting receivers, we gotta see if Worthy's gonna be healthy. If Worthy's not healthy, I can see the Giants sneaking away a little bit, just because it's going to be all up to if the Giants defense can stop the Chiefs offense. And I don't think it's too far fetched to say that they could do that with the old Kels, both of his receivers out. It's not unlikely. It's like it's possible, and the Giants have made some improvements. Like their defense, especially that line, it looks amazing. So we might see. It might. Hey, that might be one you might need to bet on. That might be unlikely, but I can see it happening.
I agree.
But that's just
I
my hot take.
disagree. I'm gonna disagree, dog. I don't think that Giants are playing up to the potential they have on defense. There's no reason that they should be allowing 37, 40 plus points to the Cowboys. No reason with that defensive front. That pretty much showed me that okay, this team, one, they don't have the secondary like I thought they did, honestly. So, but this team definitely is viable to give up points no matter how good their front four, 4, 5, front seven is. With that being said, I think with someone like Pat that's just uber dangerous whenever the ball is in his hands, you got to be wary of the fact that you're not just playing the Chiefs, you're playing Pat Mahomes. So
Yeah,
I
because
just I just I
those
don't
drives
know
be.
how
Go
the
ahead, my
Giants
fault.
are going to be able to respond to like Pat and kind of how he is able to just take over games at sometimes. I think Dable no, you good. I think Dabo is, like you said, on the hot seat. This pretty much his job. And I thought it was crazy to start Russ at the beginning of the year with how high everybody was on Dart, how the media was sicing Dart. I felt it because it's like you want to give the veteran his run, but I think when you have a guy that can not only grow, but has the potential to be like one of the best quarterbacks in franchise history, just give him the reins early. Let him learn from the vet. And worst comes to worst, if he does end up crapping it out come week 4, bench him. Start Jameis, start Russell, and ride the season out that way. I think starting Russell was a mistake, and now his job is on the line. And kind of like we said, both teams is fighting for the playoff chances and Giants fighting for their coaching. What there's a stat that is teams that start the year 0-3 have a 2.7 chance of making the playoffs. So
Mm.
we know that regardless of what happens after this game, somebody's job, someone's losing the job, whether it's a coach, player, personnel, it doesn't matter. Someone's going to be losing the job. It just sucks that the Giants have all this defensive potential and they're not using it to their highest ability. But I think that more or less leans on the fact that that defense won't necessarily say is young, but doesn't have like the high class, like big game experience that you would want from a defense that you think would be like up to that standard. Do I think they're better than a team like the Steelers defense? Heck yeah. I think the Steelers paid 80 million and $70 million for that defense. They one of the worst run defenses in the league right now. I don't think they're at that magnitude, but I do believe that with the talent you have at the front with Dexter, Abdul, Burns, Okereke, like you should be producing way more, doing a lot
Yeah,
more. And I think just me watching that Cowboys game let
because
me know that, oh yeah, this team is if you just
cause they,
play
they
a
got the pressure
top
they
15
needed to in that
quarterback,
game. Like I think
they're viable to
Dak
lose
got,
because
I
they
think
don't have
what's his
the
name? Abdul had
secondary,
like
nor I think the
5
secondary depth
pressures.
to
I think he had like
play
a
up with
sack.
those kind of guys.
Thibodeau had a crazy game. Burns had a crazy game. So it's not necessarily like the D line, but like we said, it's a secondary. I thought the secondary was. I didn't think that was definitely gonna be a
Yo, I
strong
think
suit. Like
half
I
a
knew,
sack,
like
yeah,
what I'm saying, going into the season, like Banks, I'm saying, he hasn't really panned out except like his rookie year, he was real good. But after that, it's kind of been like a regression. I thought a Debo would kind of be somewhat of an upgrade as like kind of like a fringe CB1, like not really the greatest, but with that D line, we could see like I'm saying, you become an elite corner. I'm saying, like we seen that with in Dallas, we seen like with like Diggs. I think Diggs is a really good corner, but whenever
yeah.
you pair him with like a Micah, all of a sudden it's like I'm saying, he becomes an even better corner. Same thing with Bland, like I'm saying, it becomes an even better corner whenever you have
Trey, yeah,
an elite pass rush. So I thought that's what we would see from the Giants corners going into the season. I like what I seen from Flott though. I think Flott's look really good.
correct.
But outside of that, like I said, it's gonna be an interesting game because, like I said, our like the Giants' weak points in corner is basically what the Chiefs' weak points is right now, receiver. So it's gonna be interesting to see like how Mahomes manipulates the game, because that's one thing that's demoralizing too. Whenever you get them third down stops, and Mahomes really good at that, he gonna find Kelsey running around, or he gonna run for the first down himself, which
Yeah,
in itself is another topic where Mahomes is the leading rusher on the Chiefs. I feel like that's probably where their issue is too.
that's a that's a really good point. I thought Pacheco would have reached his like potential right now or got
Mm-hmm.
to his ceiling or where like okay, it's a top 10 back, but they don't really have like the backfield that they've had years prior where they would like remix it. I think Kareem Hunt and Pacheco, I expected a lot more out of them. Kareem Hunt, especially being that he's been on this team with a couple stints. This is like his second or third stint as a Chief. So it's like for me, I'm more or less, but I kind of relate that to again O line. They just don't have the O line depth. Like you know what I'm saying? Their best guard was Tooney. He's a Bear now, so it's like when you lose a lot of that deep continuity that you have on the line, you can I kind of see it affecting them. I don't think it's more or less affecting Pat because I think Pat's gonna do what he do, but I think I'm seeing it affect all the other players. Like Trav is just too old, man. Like when you're running into your teammate because you can't get off a press man, bro. You want to come on, bro. It's time to be a family man, dog.
Time
It's
to
just
wrap
what
it
it
up.
is. Yeah, it's just time to go. Like you ready to propose to Taylor? Like we ready for you. Salute you, one of the best tight ends of our generation, bro. But it's time to go. Like you can't get off press man no more, bro. I understand you was going up against Derwin James and elite safety, but I remember 2, 3 years ago, we talking about route, one of the best route up tight ends ever. Like one of the best tight ends when it came to just route running in general, how he will manipulate his routes. And now I'm seeing him struggle with press man, and that's Pat Mahomes' go-to guy on third downs, on big conversions, on big plays. Do I like kind of like what Mark says? Do I still think if the Chiefs make the playoffs, they're dangerous? Yes, I still think if they get 3 or 4 games from the wild card on, they're a scary team. Honestly, you can't count them out. That's why I don't want to put too much stock into them going 0-2. But it should be a very compelling game, not only
Yeah,
because
and
the
that
Giants are pretty
I
much
feel like that
fighting for
fear
their
around
head
the
coach
league
at this
kind of
point,
disappears too.
but the
Like
Chiefs
you know what I'm saying?
also are pretty much fighting to keep
Once
their
you start, I mean, obviously
identity
like it's
because I
Mahomes.
have a
There's a
hard
fear
time
that there's a
believing if
fear
they lose
factor
this
there,
game to
but
the
I
Giants,
feel like
things
once you
don't
start
change.
0-3,
Like
it's almost
things
to
are
the
going to
point where it's
change.
like, bro, anybody could beat these. The Giants beat these guys.
Yeah, no one fears them no more. Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Like the Giants, like you know what I'm saying? Like we seen them lose to the Chargers. I forgot who they played last week. But then if they hypothetically lose to the Giants, and then yeah, and the Eagles, and then 3 games ago
Anybody
in the
can
Super
get
Bowl,
them
we
boys
seen them
out
just
of
get
here.
absolutely
Facts.
waxed. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like we start seeing like I thought you could kind of see like a dynasty like unravel. Would I bet that the
Eagles. I think
dynasty's
it
over
was the
with?
Eagles, right?
I'm not betting against Mahomes, but it's gonna be like I said, it's gonna be interesting to see. And then, but yeah,